Hi guys, Squirrel here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to transform your Scania from this into this with the RJL Scania tuning pack. So the RJL Scania tuning pack, it's very simple to install. You get two files. One file is the actual tuning pack itself, and the other file is a compatibility with the internal accessories if you've purchased the accessories DLC from SCS. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Then you simply go to a Scania dealer. This is a normal Scania, and if you move over you'll see the Scania RJL, which is this one here. Click Customize, go in. I'm going to change this to a red paint. No, we're going to go with that kind of red paint. And I'll take you through the options available with this truck. Cabin, apart from the usual normal high line and top line, you have these extra options here, the exec top line and the exec long line. Now these will also dictate the kind of chassis options you can take. I'm just going to show you the maximum that you can take. This is the exec long line. On chassis, you have absolute tons of configuration options here. Tag lifts, 6x4s, you name it, there's a configuration. Multiple steering wheel axes if you want them, with or without tag and lift. Engines range all the way from 250 up to the 620 brake Euro 4 V8. I think there is a 730 option as well if you choose the right engine, right chassis options. Transmission are very basic, normal and with retarder. Interior, it gets a little bit interesting. This is the standard interior of the Scania. You've then got an option of a different wheel. It's called the Vabis wheel, which is this thing. It's like the old-fashioned Scania Vabis wheel. Apart from that, you then go on to the other options, which will change the interior decor. So, for example, if we go with the V8 option here, you get this wonderful stitched leather effect, which I personally like. You've got the cream interior. If you scroll further down, you've got the exclusive V8 red, which is the same thing except with red instead of beige. And finally, you've got the V8 with the Vabis wheel. So basic options are with or without stitched leather, red or cream, and normal or Vabis wheel. Outside the truck, there are just absolutely tons of options. You can spend well over an hour just configuring this truck to your heart's content, and you can make it look absolutely splendid. It's difficult to know where to begin with this thing, so I'm just going to start at the top here. This is one of the main options that you'll make. It's basically the roof spoiler, as you can see. There are many options with or without the trim down the back. Once you've chosen the one that you want, you've then got another option here, which allows you to have with or without the lights. If I turn the lights on, you'll see that is your basic with an LED light, and then with this thing, you can configure individual dots. On the top, you have the tailgate lights, which you can put on here. These are red facing rear and white facing forward. Or you can have, as well as that, you can have this taillight option, which allows you to go in and configure either square or round lighting on the back. Now, you can have this laid out any way you want, but if you notice, you've got left or right blinkers, you've got reverse lights, you've got tail lights, and you've got braking lights. They are fully active, so for example, if you go over here and put in a left blinker, when you turn the left indicator on, it will start to flash, and it does look rather good. I highly recommend sticking a few reversing lights here. They're very useful when you go to reverse into a truck at night, and it fully illuminates what's behind you. Very, very bright lighting. On the top, you've got the beacons, standard beacons. You've then got an array of light bars, the standard light bars, and this one, the custom light bar, which gives you another armada of dots for you to configure. You could have air horns, you could have lights up here, you could have LEDs, you can have all kinds of stuff on the roof of your truck. Coming further down, we've then got the sun visor options. These are stock, there are no custom ones here, although I happen to have some 50k ones installed as well. You can get those separately, but otherwise you can put any standard sun visor you want here. You've then got the stone guard. Now the stone guards are pretty cool. They tend to come in a chrome or painted effect, so depending on what paint scheme you've chosen, it'll pick that up and give you these various configurations. As you can see, you can reverse the styling, either go chrome with red or red with chrome, red with silver, you know, you get the idea. Again, you can make the truck look just how you want it. Same thing down on the logo. You can change the color of the logo from painted to chrome and so on in different styles. It'll put the different Scania logos here. And you can also change the entirety of the grille. This is very, very similar to the Scania T that I showed you, which is also by RJL. A lot of those have been lifted through onto the normal Scania here. So you've got the silver, the grey, the chrome effect, even the painted effect. The idea here is that you pick something which matches with the lower grille, which is down here. Sorry, here. So you could choose that, and also that option there will change the main grille itself. So you can change the actual spacing in between and the grille itself. Coming further down, you can then accessorize the lighting. You can change the lighting, look very kind of cyborg-esque. Or you can go for the more standard lights with the DRL, which is the day running lights. They're the lights that stay on continuously, whether you put your lights on or not. So you've got this day running, which are now European law. Every car or truck has to have day running lights now. Now you've got the options of configuring these particular extra set of lights, which you can configure to either be on low beam or on day running, or just as an empty slot if you don't fancy having some lights there. You then got an extra option about the bumper itself, whether you want it to be a standard or a high. Sorry, a low or a high. So the difference is you get about an extra couple of inches down the bottom there in terms of height, but you also lower your ground clearance, which should be fine. You've still got plenty of ground clearance down there. Make sure you configure the main stuff before you start tweaking your lights, and particularly your chrome intakes, because it will, every time you change this thing, it will reset some of the options in and around here. Coming down the side of the truck, you can configure all around this space here with the wind edging. You can have the painted or the chrome with a paint trim down here. You've then got the wind deflector, which can be plastic or paint or chrome and so on. Same thing with the door handle, nothing new here. And then you've got the wheel archings, or the fenders as they call them, which can be painted or plastic. Different styles, many different styles. As you can see, you can go painted with the black trim, or you could go black with the painted trim. Again, just make it work with what else you're doing around the front. You've then got the door steps, which are the usual thing, and then you've got the side panels. Now the side panels are split into a few sections here. You've got the main panel, which is here. You've then got this little stairs, as it's called, panel, like that. And then you've got this tiny spoiler. And these also come with and without that black trim that you may have chosen here. As you can see, the black trim is on and the black trim is off. So again, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing on the truck itself flows nicely with what you're trying to do down the side here. In terms of the side skirts, you can have it with or without an exhaust. You can have it stock, you can have it painted. It's got the V8 logo, and then finally down the bottom there, you could put a pipe, or you could put these Ranger lighting, depending on what style you're going for. But there are options to put exhaust in here. In fact, if you click that dot, this is the high pipes. So you can actually put piping up here, so you can effectively, if you want to, turn off the exhaust down there and just put it up here like this. Many styles of exhaust, varying in height and whether they point vertically or to the rear. Coming down to the back of the truck itself, this chassis, you can configure the way this looks quite a bit. If we just start down the back here, for example, you can change it to be a painted chassis or a fully painted chassis. So that will give you an element of chrome going on here, or silver, steel, or you can go for the stock. I personally quite like that one, but you'll want to make that work with what you do with these dots here. Now, if you start to click here, there's a lot of dots here, but you can go through them individually. What they do is they control the fender over each wheel and then the gap in between the fender. So, for example, you can see you can have it painted or plastic, painted high plastic, or you can even have it what's called a low plastic, which is like a flattened version of the fender. You need to be careful with that, because sometimes if you choose larger wheels, larger tyres, that you'll see the tyre clipping through the lowered fender. Otherwise, it can look very nice if you get it right. That's the fully painted fender right there. The next dot along will do in between, which is the tread plate, which is this thing here. So that one controls the entirety of the tread plate. So if we just turn that off a second, this one is the gap in between. There you go, plastic, chrome, or paint. You get the idea. So by working your way along here, you could make it, you know, chrome with plastic or fully painted, and work your way along so that all the arches look the same. Finally, down the back, you've got this option here, which gives you a different styling of the rear of the truck. Now, this is interesting because there are different lighting styles, the streamline or the stock. Or if you want to, you can go for this option, which basically gives you quite an array of lighting possibilities. Now these lights follow exactly the same as what you saw up here. So if you click on these, you'll see, for example, that you could put a right round blinker or a right square blinker, or you could put a reversing light here. You can configure all of that, and then down the side you could put those little lights here, which are these things, is a dual facing forward and rear. So for example, that one, if we click to view, would be red on the rear side, and then when you look at it from the front, it would shine white. Customized to suit, and this truck has a great, or a large degree of options that you can play with. There are many other little bits and pieces that I'm not showing you. So for example, this thing here, you know, the equipment stack, you can change it so that it's got this wonderful V8 look on the side. You can go chrome. But if I change the color of the truck, you can see all the styling will then follow what you're doing. When you're finished in here, you might want to take it to the paint shop and either skin this up or do a metallic paint skin and make the truck look absolutely fantastic. There are so many options here that you can make your Scania look 10 different ways of different without trying very hard at all. The RJL tuning pack for Scania is a wonderful mod. I thoroughly recommend that you give it a try. I wish all truck mods were of this quality. It's got so many configurable options and so many extra pieces for you to put on your truck. It looks truly wonderful. It's compatible with many other mods, for example 50k wheel pack and the beacons pack, which is also in my spreadsheet, available in the video description too. I hope you enjoyed this truck. I hope you give it a try. I'm sure you'll like it if you do. Until the next mod review video, guys, take care and happy trucking.